Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 and our third club on this series where we're trying to replace Sir Alex Ferguson as the greatest manager of all time. Of course, if we're trying to do that, we have to go to the Premier League at some point. And you can see I am now the manager of Tottenham Hotspur. A bit of a random move really from the heights of 2 Champions Leagues and 2 La Liga titles with Barcelona to come to a team who sort of in recent times dropped down as sort of 6th position. They did manage to get the Champions League last season, yet the manager still got sacked, I think, anyway, if we look at the manager list here. Jurgen Klinsmann was indeed sacked for finishing 4th, despite a Europa League win and a Super Cup win a couple of years ago. Though he was still sacked by the club for finishing in 4th place, which seems a little bit harsh after a couple of 6th place finishes. Craig Shakespeare was the assistant manager when I came in. He was given mutual termination because Craig Shakespeare has terrible judging player and potential ability. So that's pretty much all I look for in an assistant manager, is how well can you judge my players. Valverde came in to replace Mourinho, but there's not been a lot of success at this Tottenham club for a little while. They've got that 62,000 capacity stadium, brand new, which is one of the attractions of coming here. They've got Ruben Dias as well, Harry Kane in there as captain. So lots of things to be excited about really. And today we are going to kick off against Derby County and then Sheffield United in the Premier League to start our tenure off at the club. But I did go through the squad in the last episode, so if you missed the last episode you really need to go and see it. Our send-off with Barcelona and also just looking at Spurs. There was no question that I was going to get the job really as soon as I applied for it. It was all fairly simple, and I've come in on 150k a week, I think the contract is. I think Barcelona were paid like 18 million in severance, which for a manager with 1 year left on his contract is quite a bit of cash. But I've already done the usual dramatic overhaul. Very little net spend, but I do have money still that is going to have to be spent before the end of the transfer window. It's been a little bit of a frustrating window in some ways, a good one in others. But we'll start with the players that left. Achraf Hakimi was a brave sale, I would say, because he is a wing back on the right back position. He's very good. But when Inter came in with an offer of £74 million with 50 million up front, that had to be accepted. So he was gone. He's a decent right back, but with that much money, leveraged over the kind of 48 months style of transfer, you can do an awful lot with it. So he had to go. Ricardo Orsolini went to Barcelona, my former club, for 50 million. They got him a little bit cut price, but it could go up to 64.5 million with all the add-ons. A good profit made on him. He's a very good player, but we are blessed with good players on the right side of the attack midfield position, and he's also playing the wrong role. We're looking for a winger over there, not an inside forward. He also can't play in other positions very well. He's not that versatile. So again, leverage the cash over 48 months. That's a lot of cash coming in that we can spend. A load of players that were just never going to play left. An attack midfielder who was never really going to fit into my role and couldn't do the job in central midfield. So he went for 15 million. A little bit of a loss for the club, but was a poor signing in the first place. Harry Winks is really poorly rated by me, and also wasn't playing very well, doesn't have a good average. So we collected 15 million for him. As Gaio, another fullback, he just wasn't very good. He was 31, so he wasn't playing much last season. He doesn't have the best average rating. We made a profit on him for a 31-year-old right back. That is not bad going. And Zeka, another right back, also sold for 15 million, made a 6 million profit on him despite him barely playing. So some good business there for the club really. Gazzaniga, we've got too many goalkeepers, he's gone for 5 million, and then a few other players. Son has left on a free against my will. I would have kept him. He would have been fantastic playing in the kind of attacking role or on that left hand side. He had decent kind of returns. It's a shame, but that was agreed before I came into the club, so nothing I could do about that. And everybody else just kind of loans or free transfers. But the players in, there's obviously one marquee signing, and that's a £120 million signing of Jude Bellingham. I feel like I had to make a big impact signing as soon as I came to the club, and Jude Bellingham is the one that I did it. 40 million up front, which I thought was really good. 80 million over 48 months. So that's only 20 million a year out of future transfer budgets. I thought that was really good business for a player who's 21 years old and probably one of the best midfielders in the world. It worked really well when I brought Barrow to Barcelona, so I thought Bellingham, now that he's 21, can come to Spurs. He fits all of the club's ambitions for signings. So it was a no-brainer really, and he has such a good average rating. He's going to be fantastic for us in central midfield. Andre, I'm really excited about. He's not a natural advanced forward, but he can do a little bit of a job in the false nine role. We got him very cheaply, £23 million. He's got a fantastic record over in Brazil at 22 years old, 16 finishing, 17 first touch. He was a no-brainer when I found him in the scout reports. Another Brazilian signing, a Aimbere, I think that is, worth £48 million. He is a natural right winger. One of the reasons I sold Orsolini was I brought this guy in, another Brazilian with fantastic ratings. Only 21 million he was signed for, got the work permit and everything, so he is going to be a brilliant addition down that right flank. David Neres for 20 million was another absolute steal. He was transfer listed. Hadn't played that much for Manchester United last season, but look at those average ratings at PSG and at Man United. I have no doubt that he's going to be a really good addition. He could also play on the left hand side, and he was so good for us at Ajax. So for 20 million, absolute no-brainer to bring David Neres in. We needed cover in the fullback position, so Alex Tellez, another decent signing. He's not going to be in the club for too long, just 1 or 2 seasons until I can bring in a really good left back, but he'll do a good job, good average ratings. He'll be a solid performer. Davide Calabria doing the same thing on the right back position. Obviously we sold a bunch of right backs, we got him for just 9 million. I think he'll do a decent job. He's a temporary cover for now, and this guy was not signed by me. He was signed by somebody else. Oh no, he was signed by me, I think. 3.2 million. He's a false 9 anyway, which is exactly what we want. Currently under the under 18s. He might develop in the coming years and help us out quite a bit. But you'll see in the friendlies we've done reasonably well. Quite a few big wins in here, including a 13-1 win. David Neres getting on the score sheet there. 3-0 in Harry Kane's testimonial, 4-0 against Dresden, and now we take on Derby County. But we do have problems in the team. Number one, it's a big old squad. Now I've got a lot of young players promoted just to fill out some of the positions in the squad, so that's a little bit misleading. And the real problem is in defence. In midfield we have Bellingham, we have Kenner, and we have Ndombele. So we are not in trouble in central midfield. That's more than enough to see us through. Attacking positions, we're mostly covered. Dele Alli's in at the moment just because Andre is injured. I would like another striker to come in and to sell Dele Alli really, valued at 60 million. He's a natural advanced playmaker. He can play on the left, so that's one reason to keep him. He can also cover in the false 9 role. But then Mbere and Barnes are starting on the wings for this game. Kenner and Bellingham in the middle. Defence is a real problem area. I need another central defender at least coming in. I could also do with more cover in the fullback position, so I've got to focus on defence. One striker, one central defender. They're the next 2 signings that I absolutely need. But I really need to strengthen this defence up because we are going to be leaking goals like nobody's business. But there's just no one available for me to sign at the moment. I do have a bit of cash left. I've got 56 million and £500,000 a week in the transfer budget, and I am looking for a really good central defender to come in and join Diaz. But Onana will continue in goal. He's a good player, obviously did a good job for us at Ajax. I'm hoping he can do the same here for Spurs. So that is the squad. Let's get into our first game against Derby County. Obviously, if you are new to the channel and to the series, go back and watch the playlist of all the videos so far and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. But this should be a reasonably comfortable entry into our time in the Premier League. Derby County, I would imagine, likely to get relegated with the squad that they've got. But you never know. I'm coming into a new team. There's been a lot of signings. I'm not expecting us to start winning every game because it's going to take time for a lot of these players to bed in. They're going to have to learn the tactic. But Tellez puts it in, comes out. Jude Bellingham with the ball, takes it around and can't quite get the ball in the back of the net there. But it's a good positive start. Calabria with the ball and Dele Alli heads it down. Bellingham on the volley, and the £120 million marquee signing proves his doubters wrong with a goal after just 12 minutes. Brought in from Ajax. I signed him when he was just 16 for Ajax. 5 years later, I've brought him to the Premier League with Spurs, and he scored on his debut in the Premier League to give me a lead in my first game in charge as Çalhanoğlu puts it in, and Hervé Allard with the header. That's really poor defending. He was given so much space to steer that past the defence, and this is going to be the real problem this season. It's all going to be defensive mistakes unless I can bring in some really good central defenders and fullbacks at some point. But for now, it will do the job. I'm sure we can get top four with this team, even if I didn't make further signings. And here's Harry Kane out to Ambere, ball into Dele Alli, down to Harry Kane, and it's just tipped around the post. I'm sure we're going to win this game. Alex Tellez puts it in, cleared away. Sanchez chasing after it. Tellez back in, cleared away. Barnes on the edge of the area finds Dele Alli out left, put in but cleared away by the defender as Ruben Dias cleans up from the back. But the team seem to be doing really well so far. I'm looking forward to Harry Kane getting a few goals as well this season. I'd like to get him to 30-40 goals if we can. Here's Barnes attacking down that left flank, skips the tackle, cuts across, still going Barnes, but he didn't quite pull that one near enough to that near post. Instead, it was quite central and easy for the goalkeeper to stop. But we are dominating this game at the moment, and Alex Tellez now with a free kick in a dangerous position, which he has scored on his debut. 2 debutants scoring in my first game in charge, backing up my potentially controversial transfer policy with so many going out and so many players coming in. But look at that free kick, beautifully done by Alex Tellez, who gets my Tottenham Hotspur reign off to a good start. We're 2-1 up now. Tellez with the corner, Ruben Dias scores as well. Old and new combining. Tellez to Dias, my former player at Ajax, has scored the header. Left Ajax against my will because of his release fee, minimum release fee. Otherwise I would have rejected the offers from Spurs, but he's ended up here, and now I'm very happy that that release fee was activated by Tottenham, because we're 3-1 up heading in at half-time. A really, really good start to our time at Spurs, and so many familiar faces in the team as well. That's one thing I really enjoy, is bringing in the Ajax players and potentially some of the Barcelona players in the future. I'd love to bring Severo to Spurs, but he has a £188 million release fee, so that would be an enormous transfer. Esposito, though, if he doesn't play for Barcelona, will be one of the first players I snap up if he's transfer listed or wants to leave. Tellez puts it in. Kenner, edge of the area, has drilled it, but it's going to be called back for offside. Somebody in front of the ball as it went past the goalkeeper. But that's okay. We are cruising toward a victory at the moment. I'm going to tell the team to get creative, because getting a little bit complacent out there. We do benefit from Dias and Kane having really strong leadership traits, determination traits. I don't think we'll have as many of the problems we had at Barcelona, where the team just got quite complacent and goals started to flood in just before the full-time whistle. That's unlikely to be the case this season. But let's bring David Neres on as well for a bit of time on his debut, as we just let the clock run down. Derby have had one shot the entire game. It did go in, but here's David Neres with a free kick. It's cleared away. Sanchez out to Ambere. Now Sanchez again. Pulls back to Bellingham. On for Kenner. Bellingham picks up the loose ball after the tackle. Back to Kenner, and he finds the bottom corner as well for 4-1. Kenner with an excellent goal, his first for the club, and this has become a very, very nice win in the end. We can bring Chukwueze on as well, who will be the backup right winger this season. But that's a really nice performance. I feel really confident about this squad. We just need to clean up that defence. We need to get another striker in, and then I'm very happy with how we're set up for the rest of the season. So that is a very good start to our time at Spurs. If we just look at that schedule, next up it's Sheffield United away, which will be a much tougher game. Then Swansea, Burnley, Bristol will probably pick up with the Champions League and Liverpool double-header, depending on who we draw in the Champions League. So let me just go ahead to that Sheffield game, and then we can pick back up. Well, no new signings yet from the last game, but we are in the business for potentially bringing Gonzalez from Barcelona for just £25 million. If we can get that deal, I think that would be a fantastic signing, because he has a lot of potential to potentially become a world-class central defender, so he would be a really big player to bring in for the future. And then I'm also looking at who else we can bring in up front. Really annoyingly, Bayern Munich have just signed Esposito on a loan. I didn't realise he was available for loan. So unfortunately that one has slipped under the radar, and we'll miss out on the chance of bringing Esposito to Spurs. But we do have Andre available for this game. He's going to play alongside Harry Kane. This is the strike partnership I expect to lead the line for most of the season. We've got Dele Alli out on the left as a result, with Ambere on the right. Then it's Kenner and Bellingham in the centre, with Tellez, Diaz, Robinson, Luzala and Onana in defence. So that right side of defence, a real concern at the moment. Hopefully Gonzalez coming in will strengthen up that team, and then we just need to look at some world-class fullbacks to really give us a bit of strength in depth across the 11. Maybe that's something we can do in January, depending on who comes in. Jasper Tanganga is a player I did look to bring back to the club, but he would have cost about 40 million. So this is a decent Sheffield United team. They are not going to be easy to beat, but if we play like we did last time, we will get the win today. Mousse up top's a really difficult player as well. It's a really strong team. They've still got Burge in there, they've got Caballas in there, a lot of potential banana skins throughout this Sheffield United team. So the Premier League is without doubt the strongest league in the game at this point. And it isn't going to be easy to get into a position to win a title with this Spurs team. But Ruben Dias gets that one away, only as far as Mendes. Burge out wide to Shaw. Tackle goes in, and that's going to be a penalty. The left back, Alex Tellez, with the mistake. One of the more experienced players with the error early on here against Sheffield United. And it's a free hit for Trossard, which does beat Onana. So we're a goal behind now against Sheffield United. Our first time going behind since taking on the Spurs job, but it is only our second match, so it's coming reasonably early into our campaign. Decent penalty. Onana maybe could have committed a little bit more to the dive and got to that, but Luzala with a long throw in towards Harry Kane, cleared away. Hout forward, but Luzala has won it. Now Bellingham finds Kenner. He tries to push it out right, but it's intercepted, and now Mendes can attack for Sheffield. In behind for Mousse, and it's a save by Onana. Good that we do have a solid goalkeeper at the back. Ter Stegen felt like a bit of a liability in my time at Barcelona, so having Onana back is quite comforting at least. Now Bellingham onto Kenner. Ball just given away again by the central midfielders. They're supposed to be our absolute rock this season. And Mousse allowed to come inside, but can't quite get the finish. That midfield really needs to tighten up though, because we should not be letting chances like that get created so easily. And now we're throwing from Chambers down to Burge. Ball sent back to Tanganga. All the way back to the goalkeeper. Dewhurst looking to bring it forward, finds Hout. Maitland-Niles and Hout just passing it between them. Burge trying to create something through the middle, and he's found Shaw attacking down that right flank. Dele Alli can't win the ball. Goes into the middle, and Mousse has absolutely skied that one into the second tier. Fortunately for us, because that was dangerous, and at the moment we are just not flexing our muscles whatsoever in this game. The team really need to pick up. Maybe I need to give them a few more shouts from the sidelines. That might help spur them along. We're definitely going to have to make some substitutions in a minute as well. Diaz forward to Tellez. Now Kenner attacking through the centre. He's got lots of options. Kenner does play it to Andre. He's in on goal. He's round the keeper. And Andre scores on his debut. That's what we brought him in for. He's a beautiful player. Not the best finisher necessarily. Actually, no, he is a brilliant finisher as well. I don't know what I'm saying. Kenner running through. And Andre just hanging back on that defender. Ran in front of him. Round the keeper. And a good finish. I'm still going to look to make a couple of substitutions here. Dele Alli can certainly come off for Harvey Barnes. And I might also take Kenne off and bring on Shackleton in the centre as well. We've got a few players out with knocks. David Neres not available for this game, and then Dombele as well, I think, unavailable. So unfortunate that we're missing a couple of key players who could have come into this game. But hopefully these replacements will do the job. Dewhurst sensible forward to Sander Burge. Now on to Mendes, ball in behind, but well cut out by Luzella, who's been impressing for me today. Barnes over to Bellingham. He brings it through the middle. He's got players across. He's got four in the box. He found Harry Kane, but it didn't get to him. And now Sheffield can look to counter, but Robinson with a good tackle. The defenders on that right side, both coming in under pressure really, but doing a good job. Here's Burge with the ball edge of the area. Goes into the middle. Luzala away. Trossard has it. Now Caballas sends it back to Hout. Still need to try and get this goal if we can. It's come to Harry Kane. Bit deeper from him. He's found Ambere, who's been quiet today, but he's got options in the middle. He plays it across, Tanganga away. Now Caballas back. It's sent forward, and that header has released Mousse. He's in behind, and Onana with a decent stop there. Really well done from him. And we have very little time to win this game now. 30 minutes to go. Mousse with the ball out on the far side. Plays it over to Tanganga. Now a free kick from deep. Trossard with it. Goes short to Shaw. And he takes it down the right flank. Ball into Mendes. And it is now 2-1 to Sheffield United. They've managed to get another goal here to just peg us back. And we're in a little bit of trouble if we lose this game so early in the season. Yes, we're away from home and this Sheffield United team are quite good. But if we lose this game, we are in quite a bit of trouble because we should be doing better than this. It does quite a lot go back to our reasonably poor defence. But I think that's an easy cop-out really because our strikers aren't getting the goals either. Going to bring Davison Sanchez on. Here's Alex Tellez. Beats the defender, puts it over, and it's just saved by the keeper. Andre with a good header there, but not able to get it past the goalkeeper. And time just running short now. Here's Alex Tellez with the throw to Barnes. Played across, but cut out. Now Caballas over the top. Mousse's been released. He's onside. He's through on goal, and it's well saved by Onana with Diaz just launching it out for a throw-in, but we're being totally exposed over the top at the moment. 15 minutes to go, and it's a goal kick or free kick from Sheffield. Burge plays it forward. Again, we're just not getting the ball. They're totally controlling this game. Trossard in behind, Onana stops it. But we are not controlling this game at all. It's really disappointing from Bellingham. Shackleton's been poor since he came on. Maybe shouldn't have brought him on. Alex Tellez with the throw. Barnes is in there. It comes out to Bellingham, but he doesn't win the ball. Not enough fight from Bellingham there. Ball comes back to Trossard. He tries to send it back, and it's cut out by Ambere. He can charge through on goal. Oh, Ambere! The Brazilians for us today, showing us what they can do. Sensational stuff from the two of them. Ambere's first goal for Spurs. What a signing he's going to prove to be. He wins the ball himself here, stealing it from Maitland-Niles, and then runs between the two defenders and unleashes a shot from distance that the keeper can't get. A really, really good finish by Ambere, and we now have 5 minutes to try and find a winner if we can. Time running short. Doesn't look like it's necessarily going to happen unless it happens with this highlight here. Dewhurst forward. Shackleton intercepts well. Alex Tellez over the top. Barnes should get to that. He's got Kane. He's got Andre in the middle. Andre is there. Andre wins it. The two Brazilians have done the job today. We've come back to win the game from behind twice against Sheffield United now. Twice we were behind in this game, but the Brazilians have won it for us. Barnes in behind, played it across, and Andre in the 6-yard box with the finish for 3-2. And who even is Harry Kane? Andre is the man in Tottenham tonight. A brilliant debut from Andre, coming on and scoring the winning goal for us. Brilliant stuff from the team there. That's what we want. That's how you get into the top 4. That's how you challenge for the title. And the team's showing they've got what it takes. So next up, we'll take on Swansea, Burnley, Bristol. And then we'll probably pick up with this Champions League game. And then Liverpool away will be our first really, really big test. But if you enjoyed that late win over Sheffield United, drop a like on the video down below. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. But until next time, see ya.